Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you listen to this. This is Tanks and Tutties, episode 7, brought to you by Tubbs and Frankie. This week, do a little weekend recap, locks and long shots as always. Got a little bit of NBA news to go over. We'll recap the trade deadline in MLB. And then not a lot to talk about other than the couple of trades that we missed and what teams didn't do. And then we got NFL. We're going to do a little season preview. We each picked our winners of the divisions, a couple honorable mentions, as well as wildcard predictions. And then
and I think this year's going to be crazy in the NFL, so
it's going to be fun. And then we've got our Tank Award of the Week. Notice the name change. We wanted something more original, so it's the same exact thing, just new name, Tank of the Week. And then we've got our All-Star Ballot of controversial calls. Lions and Packers fans know a lot about these, so that'll be a fun list. And then we'll hit you with the wrap-up. Jake's got a question again, and then we'll send you on our way. So, how was your weekend?
it was pretty good. Once again, I didn't really do much. Been on that, money-saving train lately. Kind of just stayed at home. Went out Saturday. I spent all day playing MLB The Show, which was great, just grinding the program. Did go out for a couple drinks on Sunday night. Just had a couple with dinner and stuff, but stayed at home, grinded the show this weekend. Parents are coming up this weekend, so be a little bit more active this weekend. But what about you?
I was planning on staying home and getting ahead on some packing. I'm moving out of my current situation the second weekend in September. So I was going to get ahead on some packing, grind that will be the show a little bit, and then my roommate's like, hey, if you're not doing anything, come down to the lake. His parents, or his grandma has a lake house. And I went out there, and I just want to say, lake beers are completely different than any other kind of beer because you don't feel anything until you get out of the water. So we went out on the pontoon. There's a little sandbar. We hung out there, drank pretty heavily, and then we swam around for a little bit. Then we got back home, and we were going to switch boats because they've got some bridges that you can go under to get to different lakes, but the pontoon wouldn't make it. So we re-upped on the alcohol.
Boats.
Yep, multiple boats.
Interesting.
Re-upped on the alcohol. Went back out on the speedboat, saw the other lakes, drank a lot more, came back for dinner, and I was on another planet. And then ate dinner, ate way too much, proceeded to lay on the floor and just relax. And then that night, man, I just beers and liquor and good night. But I'll get into it later. There's a reason I'm nominated as one of the Tanks of the Week. So I'll get into it later why I was a tank, but it goes along with the lake. So locks and long shots here.
Self-proclaimed, but
self-proclaimed, absolutely. My lock last week, won. Castillo was awesome. Yankees are on a bit of a skid, but Castillo looked great, and we're going to keep it going this week because the Yankees are going to break that skid. We're taking the Yankees -1.5 against Boston on Saturday. Look, Boston is bad. They need to accept it. They're bad. Montes looked terrible yesterday in his first start, but it was just his mother-in-law just passed away. He's feeling all these things. They might have rushed him a little bit. It's a new scenario. He's going to look good this Saturday, and it should be plus odds, and we're going to hit that. And then long shots. Soto did get traded, so that was a W. However, Gallo did not go to our Brewers. Very sad. He ended up going to the Dodgers. And fun fact
at the time I thought it was a good thing. But
fun fact there, since the Gallo trade, the Yankees are 0-5 and the Dodgers are 6-0. Imagine what the Brewers could have been with Gallo.
A lot better than they were last week, that's for sure.
So I'm 2-3. I went 1-1 last week on my locks. Well, 0-1 technically because the Soto one was the week before. But this week, we're going to say that Deshaun Watson will not play this year. The NFL initially gave him 8 games. Or not the NFL. The judge gave him 8 games. The NFL appealed it. And I think Roger Goodell is going to do everything his power. 6 games, sorry. Goodell is going to do everything in his power to get that man suspended for the year, as he should be. It's going to be one of those, he's going to be suspended indefinitely, and it'll be at least a year, and then he'll do a bunch of, oh, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 and then he'll play next year. But he's not going to play this year.
It's a touchy subject,
Yep. But he's not playing this year.
I don't know if you got the joke.
Oh, touchy shit. You're a terrible person. I love it.
Oh, well. Locks this week. So, like I said, my parents are coming up this weekend. And my brother wants to golf. My dad wants to golf, so we're going to go golfing. So my lock this week, I've been playing a lot better recently, just ripping drives and hole and putts and everything. So I'm going to say that my lock this week is that I shoot better than a 45. We're only playing 9 holes. So 45, it's pretty average, like 10 over par. It's bogey golf, I think I can do that. That's going to be my lock this week. For a long shot, I did win. So I have a winning record now for my long shots. Last week I said that last week I said that we were going to get 3+ trades while recording. And we got, 4, 5, something like that.
4.
So got the win there. I'm going to stick with our team. The Orioles, they've been hot. Everybody thought at the trade deadline that they were selling. They gave away, Jorge Lopez, their best closer, traded him to the Twins. Guess what? I don't think they've lost since the trade deadline.
I love that the Orioles have kind of become like the honorary Tanks and Tutties team just because of our boy Reggie, who may or may not be fake, but they're fun, man. They're fun.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with the Orioles money line on Wednesday versus the Toronto Blue Jays. And hear me out. I know everyone's probably thinking, you really think the Orioles are going to beat the Blue Jays? Yeah, well, Jose Barrios is pitching. Dude's got an ERA in the 5s. Nothing can be overlooked in this game. And, Dean Kramer, not much of a name. Pitching for the Orioles, he's got a 3.27 ERA. He's been pretty good. I think the Orioles are still fighting. Maybe the front office isn't, but I think the players still are, and I'm going to take the Orioles to beat the Blue Jays on Wednesday. So
they are definitely, they're right there, shot. Dude. They're right there. You got to try.
Well, and I like it because I don't think a lot of books have really picked up on the Orioles just winning, no matter who they're playing. So I think you'll probably still be able to get this. Like, the books still think that Jose Barrios is next to God, so I'm assuming you're probably going to get this pretty high, probably plus 150, plus 180 or so.
I'm going to have to look for that, too. That's enticing.
Yeah.
Let's head into NBA here. We had a little bit of news. I don't know if you saw it, Frankie. Did you see what happened with Dejounte Murray and Paolo Banchero?
Yeah, Dejounte Murray kind of diced him up.
He kind of put his balls on his face.
On his back, actually.
They were supposedly like buddies. If you guys didn't see it, basically Dejounte did like a fake behind the back pass of Banchero. So he looked, where's the ball? And then Murray was able to self-alley off the hoop, and then off the hoop.
Off the hoop.
Yeah, you guys know what I mean. Holy shit!
Like that.
And then he proceeded to throw the ball at Banchero and yell at him. To which Banchero said, "That's bullshit." And then he unfollowed him on like all the socials. And then I think Paolo called him out on his story, like, "Oh, you're so fake" or whatever. And then Murray posted some long IG thing I didn't read. Basically, it's going to be interesting to see what happens between those two when they play. I think Murray's going to be a dog.
Where is Murray now?
I couldn't tell you. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even know.
Because I thought...
We probably should have looked into that.
I thought he got traded.
No.
I'll look into it.
Wait, was it Dejounte Murray or was it Keegan Murray? Holy shit, did I fuck up that bad?
No, it was Dejounte.
Okay.
No, it was Dejounte.
He got to the Hawks. He's the Hawks.
Hawks, yes.
Okay, Jesus. Oh my God.
He got traded to the Hawks.
Dude, I'm off today.
So the Magic and the Hawks, I mean, they don't really play that much, but...
This just shows you that I'm not really the biggest NBA guy because for a split second, I thought it was a different Murray. I honestly, this whole time, I thought it was Keegan Murray. I didn't realize Dejounte Murray was a different person.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey,
I also love that, like,
MLB
beef
and NFL
in the NBA is unfollowing everybody, or unfollowing people on all of your Insta and socials.
And that's like a crime in those guys' eyes.
Like, yeah.
They are just
It's like, dude, I can't believe you do that, man.
Dude, I lost a follower because of you, even though I've got 100,000. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Shut that up.
Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez were best
nice.
friends, and they hated each other for a little bit, and then they became teammates. Come on.
That was probably before social media. So.
By the way, Derek Jeter documentary, The Captain, pretty damn sweet. I'm 4 episodes in. A lot of shit I didn't know. Like, for example, I didn't know Alex Rodriguez was going to go to the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Crazy. Pretty sweet documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Got 3 episodes left. There's only 2 available right now, so I'm going to wait. Binge the last 3 probably this Thursday. Let's get into MLB now that we're talking about it. I mentioned earlier, Yankees are 0-5 since the Gallo trade, and the Dodgers are 6-0. Your Brewers, you guys traded away the best closer in the game, and then proceeded to do absolutely nothing and DFA Lamet. Talk to me about it.
It's been a horrible week. I honestly don't know what to say. I hate that we traded. Well, I don't hate that we traded Hader. At the time, I understood it. It made sense. It was sad, but it made sense. And Dinelson Lamet was a huge piece of this trade, so I was excited. And then 2 days after the trade, we DFA'd him. So I was like, okay, I'm not really. I don't understand that, but trust in Stern. Something's going to happen here. The Colorado Rockies.
Oh. Ooh.
They picked him up on his last day of waivers. So for anybody who doesn't know how MLB waivers worked, we were not able to send Nelson Lamet down to the minors. So we had to designate him for assignment. And if he made it through waivers, which is 3 days, without any team claiming him, we have the option to send him down to the minors. But he also then has the option to decline that option and become a free agent, which means any team can sign him. So he made it 2 days on waivers before the Rockies signed him or claimed him off of waivers. We have no ties to Dinelson Lamet anymore, and now the only thing we got back basically for Hader was his subpar replacement and 2 minor leaguers.
You just sound so depressed. Like, you're more depressed than I am about the Tigers.
It is depressing because, like, at the trade deadline, when we traded Hader, I was like, okay, like, we're active. At least we're doing something. If we're making a move to trade away Hader, like, that's a big move. We're probably going to make some big move to get a bat. We did absolutely nothing. We signed 4 relief pitchers and then DFA'd 1 who we got back in a trade. And then we came out of the trade deadline. We got swept by the Pirates and lost 2 of 3 to the Reds. So doesn't look too great.
I've talked a lot of shit, and it started as a joke to go get Gallo, but it wouldn't have hurt you. You guys can't hit right now.
At this point, I'm pissed that we didn't get Gallo. Like, literally anything would have been better than what we did.
Yelich has fallen off of a goddamn cliff. And,
not true.
Hira hasn't worked out yet. And you could have gotten Gallo
He's
for
looked better.
pennies. But now all you have is this. We've looked better. How long is that going to be the thing? You could have gotten Gallo, and if he sucks, DFA him. You DFA Gallo. You don't DFA Lamet, who was the second best part of that trade. That's
well, I mean, we went to DFA him, but we probably would have just benched him and let him ride.
Yeah. Well, the Tigers did nothing, which sucks, but is good. They traded away Grossman, which sucks. I really liked him. But what's the point? He's an average player. We DFA'd Derek Hill. I think I mentioned that last week. Really sad. I love that guy. He was a first-round pick. I didn't know that. First-round pick in 2014, didn't make his debut until 2020, which is astonishing with how bad the Tigers have been for so many years. But the Mariners just claimed him, and I can already see it. He's going to fucking be part of that playoff push somehow. I mean, he's not an everyday guy, but...
It's going to be like Paredes. Just come back to haunt you.
Well, no, because Paredes is an everyday guy, and he was definitely a more promising prospect, but... I mean, I can already see it. He's gonna hit some walk off when they're like a game behind or some shit of the wild card, and then they're gonna make the wild card. And I don't know. Somebody will get hurt and he replaces them. I don't know. But also,
I want to point something out.
Can you imagine if the Mariners?
I think
if Kelenic was good, they'd be so much better.
Well, he's got plenty of time to turn things around. I think
he's got
he might
time,
be.
But if he came up with J-Rod, they could have been like the Bang
as a guy
brothers.
who almost played against him. I think he's going to be sick eventually. I think he just needs to settle in because he is really good in the minors. And we've seen it a lot. Quadruple A players. And actually that made me think of something. So Joe Adell didn't get traded at the trade deadline, like I said. But now that the Angels made some trades, Joe Adell's become an everyday player. And has played every game since the trade deadline. It's looking pretty good.
That's good because I got a couple of his baseball cards. So back to the Tigers. Let me finish. Al Avila needs to be fired as soon as possible to give this team any sort of hope because he's just – it seemed like those 2 trades he made – I can't remember the other one for some reason, but he traded Grossman And the other trade was dumb, and they got Fulmer, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like it seemed like he knows he's done after this year, and it was a fuck you. And honestly, I'm petty. I'd probably do it too, but you could have traded Soto, you could have traded Chafin and got something better, but you didn't.
I mean, what was Fulmer really doing for you?
Soto, did you see what happened? I think it was yesterday. Tigers, like Matt Manning pitched a gem, 7 innings, couple hits, no runs, and then it's 0-0. Bats didn't get anything, obviously. It's 0-0 in the 9th. Soto comes in, gives up 3 earned, and the Tigers ended up giving up 7 runs in the 9th inning with 2 outs, mind you. It was 0-0,
all
2
7
outs.
with 2 outs in the 9th?
0-0, 2 outs, top of the 9th,
Holy
and they
shit.
lost 7-0. It was
Jesus
unbelievable. Christ. But at least they didn't trade the young stars. Like, it was seeming like that was going to happen, and that was scary, but they didn't trade them. Hopefully, Avila's out, and this is the last time I'm talking about him. I think I've said that 2 weeks in a row now, but
I do want to just say, I think Robbie Grossman might be the most average baseball player to ever exist. Like, even when it comes to, like, his name. Robbie Grossman. That just doesn't sound like a guy that's going to be an all-star. Like, that just sounds like an average baseball player.
You have Gross in your last name. You're pretty average.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's about it for MLB, right? I mean, it's time to get excited for NFL, right?
Yeah, I mean, playoffs for baseball are going to be
days.
exciting. Yeah, it's the dog days. Things are getting weird. So,
but when playoffs come back around, I'm sure there'll be a lot more energy and excitedness. And hopefully, I hope the Brewers make it because it'll give us both something to talk about a lot. Like, if both of our teams are out, we're not going to have a lot of energy talking about playoffs. That's false because we're going to bet on it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
All right,
absolutely.
NFL. So
football is back.
Football is very much back. We've got Hard Knocks. We're recording on Monday. You're going to hear this on
We had
Wednesday.
a game this week.
Hard Knocks was on last night, but we're not going to talk about it till next week because we can't watch it until Tuesday, and we record on Mondays, and it kind of sucks, but we just have to deal with it. So there'll be a recap next week. Very excited as a Lions fan. I've seen a couple clips. You had Jamal Williams. Did you see that clip?
I did.
Oh, my God. I would have ran through a brick wall for that guy. Imagine what he did for the team. They are using last year's performance as fuel, and I love it.
I miss Jamal Williams.
That dude, he's great for PR, too. You can post him on everything. Almost every day there's a clip of that guy. And he fired up the team. I also think Dan Campbell could fight any coach in the league and win. There was a couple of his pep
I
talks
don't know
that came
about
out.
any.
Who would beat Dan Campbell in a fight?
I just think there's some guys that are more jacked.
The only one that's more jacked is Vrabel. And Vrabel's probably
Robert
his only
Saleh's
competition.
pretty jacked.
Yeah, but that's true. I don't know. Anyways, he'd put up a fight against any coach. Now we also have a couple.
Absolutely.
We've got a couple interesting QB situations. So let's start with the Panthers. So you traded for Darnold last year, and now you just traded for Baker, but you drafted Matt Corral. I don't really see what's going on here.
I kind of see it
what are they
because, I
building?
mean, Baker's 100% going to be the starter. Sam Darnold has never really been much. He was okay last year, but, like, he's Sam Darnold. He literally sees ghosts. And then,
And he has
Matt Corral, Matt Corral is just going to develop behind both of these. Like, it's not really a good way to develop, but he's going to develop behind him. So I think it's just kind of Baker's a starter, Sam's going to be the backup, Corral's there to develop and take it over in a couple of years once Baker's contract is up.
I think the Baker trade was a great trade. I think Baker Mayfield is one of the most undervalued quarterbacks in the NFL. He took the Browns to the playoffs for the first time in however many years. He gets injured once, and now you want to ship him off for a rapist? I don't get it. While we're on the topic, let's talk about the Browns. There's not really a comment necessary, but you traded away a legitimate top 15 quarterback when healthy for a dude that might not play this year. And you paid him a shitload of money. Shitload.
Here's the thing. They basically became bettors and were betting on the fact that said rapist would not get suspended for an entire season. And, I mean, they kind of won the bet. Right now it's 6 games, so a third of the year.
Yeah,
if
but
they lose the first 6 games, like, it's not going to kill them.
If this appeal works, it could be a year, it could be longer.
Yeah, I mean, things could get really bad.
But then what happens if Deshaun misses a year? Does he come back the same Deshaun? Probably not.
I don't know. Do you know what Deshaun Watson did last time he was in the league?
Yes, before all these allegations, he was very good.
Yeah, he led the league in passing yards.
No, I understand. He's a great quarterback. It's a big gamble. Like, we're talking, if there were odds on this, it'd be over plus 1,000. I don't even know.
No, I know. But you also have to look at the fact that you're taking the gamble to get a guy who could legitimately lead the league in passing yards. Like, that's what we last saw
Gotta have
from
some
him.
receivers for that, though. Amari Cooper's not going to get it done.
Amari Cooper.
Not going to get it done. Our other interesting QB situation is the Steelers. They've got, on their depth chart, they've got Mitch listed as the starter.
This might be the shittiest QB room.
And then you've got Rudolph as the backup. And then you just drafted Kenny Pickett, who, arguably, he was the best quarterback in the draft. Maybe not, but he's up there. And you got him as the third string. Like, I get you want him to learn, but who's he learning from? Mitch? Average. Rudolph? Bad. Like, why not give Kenny a chance?
So
You've
I
got
think
great
Kenny
weapons
Pickett's
that are
going to be
make
the
him look
starter
good.
by probably week 6 because the rumors are Mitch looks horrible, and apparently
Shock.
Rudolph might have the starting spot right now because it's been that bad. So like you're really flip-flopping between two really shitty quarterbacks for your starter, and you have a rookie who's waiting to go, and probably the best quarterback, like you said, out of last year's draft, and he's just sitting there waiting for his chance. Like if he does anything somewhat decent, I don't know why they wouldn't start him.
Yeah, I think Kenny Pickett's going to be a dog. And they've got weapons. Why not let him just go out there and fuck up? You've got a great defense who's going to be able to save you for his fuck-ups. But you got to get him out there. This whole build him up, whatever, it's bullshit. Look at Mahomes. He went out his first year and wasn't very good. Look at him now.
No, not true. It was not his first year.
Oh, he sat a year behind Alex Smith. That's right.
He did.
Oh, okay. Well, that
A lot of people forget about that.
That just completely voids my argument. But I think Kenny will be starting by week 6, like you said. And not with Mitch and Rudolph in
it
front
can't
of
really
him.
hurt to sit him. Look at Jordan Love. He's going to be a stud, and he's been sitting behind Aaron Rodgers for
That's different.
3
He's
years.
sitting behind a Hall of Fame quarterback. It's completely different.
A what? Did you say it again?
I said he's sitting behind a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Oh, a Hall of Fame quarterback. That's nice to hear.
I hate that motherfucker, but I will not deny that he's one of the best quarterbacks of all time. He's top 3. No, top 5. Top 5.
That might be your ticket out of the psych ward.
I got him at top 5, and he's probably 5. Quick ranking of quarterbacks. 1, Tom Brady. 2, I'm gonna put.
This
Wow,
hurts.
shit. 2, I'm gonna put Elway.
Yep.
3, I'm gonna put
no
Montana.
way, dude.
4, I'm gonna put Marino at 4, and then 5, I'll put Rodgers.
Wow. That is.
I think that's a very fair ranking. Elway and Montana can be swapped, actually. I want Montana 2, Elway 3. I'm probably forgetting a really damn good quarterback, too.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he's
Brett
at 5.
Favre?
Brett
Never
Favre
heard of
is
him?
not top 5. Nope.
No, I don't think so either. But
All right, let's get into our preview.
Mike Vick,
Let's get into our preview because I'm excited. This could get contentious. NFC West.
where do we want to start?
We'll just go through in our order here, and I'll say who we both had, and then we can talk about it. So NFC West, we both had the Rams. They just won the Super Bowl.
I think that's kind of a
Great defense, great receiving core, great quarterback, Hall of Fame quarterback, and it's a great division. With the Seahawks will be trash, the Cardinals will be good until Call of Duty comes out. And then the 49ers,
Yep.
it's kind of up in the air.
Kyler's gone after Call of Duty comes out.
49ers will be good because of their defense, but how's Trey Lance going to do? And it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, that's the thing that I still wonder about too. Like, for all we know, Trey Lance could be the best quarterback that's hasn't played a game yet.
Yep.
So, plus you have Debo, plus you have the defense that they do.
Yep.
This team could be really fucking good, but
Running backs
we
too. If
also
the running
don't
backs
know.
stay healthy, who knows?
That's the thing.
They
They
had some
always have
injuries.
running backs, but they're always injured.
They had some injuries last year, and they still made the playoffs. Oh, and we forgot to mention George Kittle. If he stays healthy, that's the thing, man. They just got to stay
Yeah.
healthy. But I think we
Yeah.
both agree that the Rams pretty much they're not going to run away with the division, but I think they win it for sure.
Well, and a lot of people also forget that the Rams got Allen Robinson and
Yep.
Von Miller with Bobby Wagner.
Yep. Oh, and don't
So
forget
yeah, they lost Robert Woods,
Aaron fucking Donald.
and yeah,
Dude's a
like,
monster.
I don't know, man. This team, They went out and they won a Super Bowl, and then they just got better.
Their offensive line took a hit, though, with Whitworth retired. But
yeah,
it's Matt Stafford seems to always find a way to make the passes. He's lived with
and Cam Akers is getting healthy.
Yep, Cam Akers too. Jesus, man, Rams could be scary. All right, let's move on to the East. Both had the Eagles. Might be a shock to some. Let me get into why I said Eagles, and then you can give a reason too. So, Eagles, they look fun, man. Devonta Smith, Jalen Hurts is young. You just picked up A.J. Brown. And, like, that offense is going to be so deadly. And their defense is average. But with how bad the NFC East is, all you got to do is be better than the Cowboys, pretty much.
The NFC East is like the Big 12, but I think all the Big 12 teams could beat a team in the NFC East.
Let's get this straight. No college football team could beat an NFL team.
See, I just don't think that's true.
No, when you think about it this way, an NFL team is made up of the best college football players out there. A college football team that is the best, like they're just young, they're smaller, like.
Well, not all those guys are going to get drafted on that best college football team.
Like,
so, I kind of get what you're saying.
I think the 0-16 Lions could have beat any college football team. Did you know back in the day?
I just don't.
Did you know back in the day the worst NFL team would play the national champion that year? It was like a long time ago. I read a story about it once. I think that'd be pretty sweet,
really?
But they won't do it because of injuries.
Yeah.
But that would have had to have been electric. What's your reason on the Eagles? Pretty much the same thing?
For me, yeah, kind of, but it was also betting against the Cowboys.
Yep.
I hate the fucking Cowboys. Mike McCarthy sucks. He's fat and old and ugly. Jerry Jones sucks. He likes jizz in shoes and drink Johnny Walker Blue. So, well, and also the Cowboys, I mean, they lost Amari Cooper, which wasn't much. They lost Randy Gregory. They fucked up that whole situation. Dak hasn't really been healthy for a full year. For how long? Zeke just isn't what people think Zeke is.
Actually,
Jalen Hurts is electric.
Zeke finished as the running back 7 in fantasy last year. He's sneakily
I don't know how.
Been pretty good. I saw that today. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But the Cowboys,
Eagles,
Cowboys got a good line. They've got a good defense, and they've got CeeDee Lamb and Dak. It's just a matter of, is Dak going to get hurt or is he going to be healthy?
Yeah, but I mean, then like you said with the Eagles, they just added A.J. Brown plus Jalen Hurts is fucking electric.
It's just a matter of if he can stop fumbling / throwing interceptions. He made a lot of dumb mistakes last year, so hopefully he got those out of the way.
But that was also, I mean, that was his first time playing NFL football. So
right. Well, and then you got
the sophomore jump. It's a big thing.
Real quickly, we can hit the other two teams. Giants, trash.
Carson Wentz sucks.
Really bad. So, yeah, I think it's Cowboys and Eagles be duking it out, and one of them come out on top. It's probably going to be the Eagles. In the South.
Watch Carson Wentz just, like, do something to the Commanders, and then they're surprisingly putting up a fight, because there's always that one team that somehow in the NFL East always puts up a fight, and they shouldn't be.
That's true.
I feel like it would be the Commanders.
Yeah. Not going to be the Giants. They're in the same plane as, like, I don't know. We'll get to that later. NFC South, our first disagreement. I took the Saints. Now, I'm realizing now this was probably a dumb pick because the Saints' defense, not very good. Jameis Winston, I love the guy. He's could be electric, but he's pretty injury prone. He makes some dumb decisions, and Kamara is probably going to go to prison halfway through the season. So, I mean,
is Michael Thomas even going to be healthy?
Yep, he's going to start the year, but it's just I kind of regret that pick. But I'm gonna stick with it. Because I love my boy Jameis. And you had the Bucks.
I do love
nice
Jameis,
old chalk pick.
But yeah, I got to go chalk because here's the thing. Now here's a guy. No, I'm just kidding. The Bucks. I mean, it's Tom Brady. I hate him, but it's still Tom Brady. He's got Julio. He's got Mike Evans. No Gronk. No AB. Doesn't matter. I mean, Lenny looks a little big, but he's still Leonard Fournette. Buccaneers are still the Buccaneers. Tom Brady's still Tom Brady.
Yep. And then you got...
I think one sneaky prediction for this division. I think the Saints might finish dead last in this division.
Wow. You think the Falcons
Because-
finish higher?
Well, hear me out. The Falcons have Kyle Pitts, Drake London, AJ Terrell. They've got a good core of receivers.
Who's throwing the ball? Marcus Mariota.
Well, right now it's Marcus Mariota. All they need to do is make a move. Didn't they draft a quarterback?
I don't think so. Not a good one, at least.
Well,
now
okay,
you had
I'll look
while
at
you
it,
look at that,
but-
while you looked that up, you had an interesting prediction here. You said the Panthers have a 10-win season, led by Baker.
Yep, we talked about Baker. I don't think he's that bad. And if Christian McCaffrey stays healthy, DJ Moore stays healthy, you never know.
Big if.
Oh
with
yeah,
McCaffrey.
the Falcons did draft a quarterback, by the way.
Who'd they draft?
They drafted Desmond Reader.
Oh. Okay.
So, give it a couple weeks. Maybe he's the quarterback, and who knows? I mean,
The real question is, who's going to be tanking for a quarterback this year? There's a lot of good quarterbacks in this upcoming draft. A lot of good talent.
yeah, there's a lot of teams that are very out there that could just tank it, but I don't know.
All right, NFC North. This hurts, but I am going
Go
for
Pack,
correct
go.
predictions, and I don't see a team that can compete with the Packers. The Packers will be very interesting with no weapons, but I saw some highlights of, what's that guy's name? Christian
Watson.
Yeah, I saw some highlights. He looks like he could be a dog.
How about Romeo Dobbs?
Now, the question is Jair okay?
Nah, he's fine.
Saw he got hurt the other day. It's early. But your defense has seemed to just fall off a cliff these last few years, so it'll be a matter of if they figure it out, but it's like the Tom Brady thing. It's Aaron fucking Rodgers.
Do you know what our defense looks like now?
I don't care. I don't really want to talk about this anymore. I think the Lions finish in second with 8 wins.
Okay.
And I think the Vikings win
think
7 and the Bears win 2.
I think that the Vikings will finish second. I think the Bears finish dead last because they have no weapons whatsoever.
Yeah.
Packers, they're going to win it with the defense. I mean, Devondre Campbell, Preston Smith, Kenny Clark, Dean Lowry, Quay Walker. People forget we drafted Quay Walker. Rashawn Gary, Jair, Darnell Savage, Adrian Amos, Eric Stokes. Defense just looks real good right now. I think the Vikings are going to finish second. I hate to say it. The Vikings are fucking scumbags.
Yeah,
I wish we could go back to our scumbags.
Their defense is
And
bad.
I would put the entire Vikings there.
The defense is bad, but you got Cook, you've got Thielen, and why can't I think of his name? Holy shit. Justin Jefferson. Jesus Christ. The only problem is Kirk Cousins. He's fucking garbage. But a very scary offense. Just not so good defense.
Kirk Cousins is just like, I don't even know how to describe him. That dude, he's not like
average.
ass
That's
the
the way to
dog
describe
shit.
him. Just average.
He's literally
Yep.
Kirk.
Yep. Kirk.
He's a Kirk.
You like that? You like that? Fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Shut the fuck up.
All right, wild card predictions here. I had the Bucks, the 49ers, and the Cowboys. And then, Frankie, you had the 49ers and the Cowboys as well. But then you had the Vikings.
Yeah, so I mean, I had the Bucks in the playoffs winning the South. You had the Saints. I kept the Saints out completely because, like I said, I think they might finish dead last in that division.
The more I think about it, I
So-
think you're right. But I'm gonna ride. Fuck it.
Yeah, I think the NFC West is going to be electric like it has been the last couple of years. So I think the 49ers are going to sneak in. The NFC East, it's really a toss-up, but the Cowboys will probably find a way to get in there. I don't know if anybody from the South is going to get in other than the Bucks. The North is just kind of beating up on each other, so Vikings might get in. We could see 3 teams from the West get in. I mean, if Kyler puts down the sticks come November, who knows?
I think the NFC North will be more interesting this year than people think, except for the Bears. The Bears will be bad, but I think the Lions make some waves, but not enough. Let's get into
Yeah,
the AFC.
I think
AFC is
either
by
way the
far
AFC
and
is going to be
away
better.
they're so much better than the NFC. There's so many teams
It's
that
so
are just
hard.
good. You got a couple young teams. You got the old teams. Like, holy shit.
Here's what I think about the AFC, though. I think there's more defined tiers in the AFC. Like the NFC, you got, I guess you have tiers in the NFC too, but the AFC, it just seems like there's like a couple teams that for sure are going to make it, but then there's like a couple divisions that are just, they're all good, so they're all beating the shit out of each other.
Yep. AFC West both had the Chargers. We both love Herbert. You know, they got Eckler, they got Allen, they got Mike Williams. Their defense is good. And I personally think the Chiefs fall off just a touch without Tyreek Hill. I think it's easier to cover just Kelsey now. And then
another people forget, Khalil Mack. He's in the Chargers system now.
Oh, I did forget about that. Khalil Mack. Chargers defense is going to be very good. They got very good corners. Didn't they just they got a good corner?
You got Bosa on one side and Khalil Mack on the other.
Who's the corner they traded for or signed? They got a really good corner. Oh my God, how did I forget that?
Yeah,
because it was right after it was either right after or right before Mack, and it was like, holy shit, that defense is gonna be awesome. And then you got the Raiders, who just picked up Adams. They got Darren Waller. They got Josh Jacobs, but Josh Jacobs, there's been some trade rumors. I don't know if you've seen those. And they just got
Samuel.
Huh?
J.C. Jackson.
J.C. Jackson, that's who it is. Yep. And then Raiders though, Adams, Waller, Derek Carr, but decent defense. They did lose Mack.
Another middle of the pack quarterback.
Yeah, that's true. Another very average quarterback. But I think the AFC West and the NFC West will be the most interesting divisions. But I think the Chargers pull it out. Herbert just looks like a dog. And then you got Eckler. If Eckler stays healthy, but
I also think that the Broncos might stir some stuff up because
dude,
everybody was just so used to running over the Broncos.
Russ sucker offer out there. I don't know why.
No, I actually don't really like Russ that much anymore.
You shut the fuck up. Anymore,
why?
But
Why do you think?
You still want to say, oh, the Broncos might make some waves. You know why?
Well, yeah, because the Broncos have been horrible, and everybody. Okay, but everybody looked over him for the last how many years because Drew Lock was there, and yeah, he had moxie, but that was it. He didn't have skills. And now you're getting Russ in there, who's actually going to do something. Javonte Williams is good. Their defense is probably not going to be great.
Certain.
But, I mean, Russ you get a decent quarterback in any system, and it changes everything.
Yeah, but will he be decent or will he be bad like he was last year? I mean, he had DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and still looked bad. Granted, a finger injury or whatever the fuck it was, but yeah, no. Moving on to the East here. Another agree. Got the Bills. I mean,
Bills Mafia, baby.
The Bills are probably going to run this division like the Patriots did for a while, unless Mac Jones turns out to be, the next Tom Brady. But Josh Allen just looks so good. Diggs looks awesome. Their defense is good. Like I think they run this division. Oh, and Gabe Davis, sneaky Gabe Davis. And now
Bills,
Beasley's gone.
I feel like
so Gabe Davis
always
is the two.
The Bills would be that type of team that I should hate. But I just can't hate the Bills. Like, something about them, I just can't hate them.
They have the second best fans in football. And Josh Allen is a dog. I love Josh Allen. Behind the Lions. Best fans. Yep. Most committed. Been through a lot.
Hot take.
I mean, that's also personal bias. But in that division, you also got the Patriots, who made the playoffs last year. But, I don't know, it's just hard with no receivers,
This is one of those divisions that is just gonna beat up on each other.
If Tua picks it up, they got Jalen Waddle. They just traded for Tyreek. You got Gaskin in the backfield. Defense was decent last year too. That could be an interesting one. And then the Jets are the Jets. I mean, they'll be fun to watch.
And they have the Dolphins just have those jerseys that are gonna make them so much more electric.
The Dolphins have great jerseys.
Give me the teal jerseys.
Yep.
Oh, and we get the alternate helmets this year. I wonder. Oh, Dolphins are gonna put out some sick jerseys. I feel it already.
Then you got the Jets, who are the Jets, and Zach Wilson. It'll be fun. Zach Wilson. They just picked up Sauce Gardner, but who's the wide receiver they drafted? Was it Olave or was it Garrett Wilson? One of those OSU ones.
Garrett Wilson.
That could be interesting, but it's still the Jets. I don't think they compete just yet. Then in
Probably
the South,
not yet, no.
Got another disagreement. I took the Titans. You got the Colts. What's your
Jonathan
argument
Taylor?
for the Colts?
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, and they have a great defense too.
Yeah.
Great
and
defense.
now they added
top 5 defense.
I don't want to say a competent quarterback, but
one that knows
they
what it
added,
looks like to win.
Yeah. Like, I don't think of Matt Ryan and think of a shitty quarterback.
I feel like people aren't talking enough
Matt Ryan
about,
and I think of...
People aren't talking enough about how good Pittman could be this year.
Oh, yeah,
Dude,
no, he could be really good.
Stud. It just depends on how Ryan does, really. I traded for him in both of my fantasy football leagues just because I'm so high on this guy, and I hope it works out.
Yeah, I definitely should have taken more from you.
Yeah, I fleeced you. I gave Frankie, I gave him Cooper, who I wasn't keeping, and
Amari
a
Cooper,
4th-round pick.
But I'm telling you, dude, if Deshaun Watson plays, Amari Cooper is going to be a top 10 receiver.
You just love to gamble, don't you? Hey, I had the Titans, though. Derrick Henry, pretty good defense. They lost A.J. Brown. Ryan Tannehill is, This is another one, man. I wrote it down, and now I'm like, God damn it. But I'm going to ride with it. Derrick Henry is just too good, dude. He's too good.
If he stays healthy.
He'll be healthy. That dude's
he's also getting older.
He's going to get so many Tank of the Week nominations during the season.
Yeah, probably.
Like week 1, he's going to have some insane stiff arm or run somebody over, and it's going to be like Derrick Henry because he fucked another dude up. It's just...
He should just use his horn to stiff arm somebody.
The rest of the division, Texans, bad. Jaguars, they're young, could be good, but they're still bad. And then,
do you think Trevor Lawrence is going to make a sophomore year jump here?
No. He didn't look good last year at all. It's hard for me with this sophomore.
Yeah, but look at
jump.
who his coach was.
Yeah, yep. But I don't know. He doesn't really have any weapons though, does he? They got Christian Kirk. Ooh.
They paid a lot for him. James Robinson, Travis Etienne.
Etienne, if he stays healthy, could be damn good. It could be a nice little 2-back system, but I mean, he has nobody to throw to.
Yeah, I don't know.
Christian Kirk
feel like
is
there's
an
another
wide receiver, and they paid him like he's a great wide receiver.
Well, who else do we think they have for wide receivers?
They just lost
Christian
Chark.
Kirk, Marvin Jones.
Marvin Jones is getting old. I think
Zay Jones.
Who's
Laviska Shenault, Laquan Treadwell.
They got Agnew.
Jamal Agnew.
He's a nice little piece, but he's not anything special. I mean, he makes some great plays, and he was fun in Detroit, but he definitely shouldn't be on your wide receiver chart.
Fun fact, who do you think is listed as the starting running back for the Jags right now?
Robinson.
Travis Etienne.
Oh, that's actually not that surprising. I mean, they drafted him.
Yeah, but I don't know. James Robinson's decent when he plays.
Yeah. All right, AFC North. I had the Ravens. This is another one where I'm like, what was I really thinking? Lamar Jackson has 0 weapons except for, oh God, give me his name. I can't remember. Purdue. No, Bateman, Minnesota. He's pretty good, but you just lost Hollywood Brown. Your defense is decent. Who's the running back? God, man, I'm blanking on names
J.K. Dobbins,
today.
Gus Edwards.
There you go. Dobbins if he stays healthy.
They also got Mike Davis.
Mike Davis is a one-year wonder. You know it.
Dude, yeah, so their wide receiver core, I'm looking at it now.
Bateman.
Granted, you can't forget about Mark Andrews.
Nope.
Bateman, Devin Duvernay, James Prochet II.
Who?
Backups are Tylan Wallace.
Yep, who?
Jalen Moore.
Yep, who?
Benjamin Victor.
Who?
My favorite one of all these, who I think should be a starter, Slade Bolden.
That's pretty sweet.
Do you know that name?
No, I don't know that name, but that's a cool name.
Remember that white wide receiver for Alabama?
Oh, yeah.
His name was Slade Bolden.
Yeah. Okay.
Slade Bolden.
Yep. You had the Bengals here. I guess you could kind of consider that chalk after they went to the Super Bowl, but it's hard to consider it chalk when everybody wrote them off last year, saying they were going to lose the first game because their line's so bad, and then they won, and then the Chiefs are going to kill them.
This team just has the most swag.
Swag and mojo, man.
Yeah.
They're a fun team.
But Joe Burrow did have his appendix removed, so
also,
never know.
Reggie, if you hear this, tweet at us. Is your football team, is it the Ravens? Are you just a Baltimore guy, or are you kind of like a bounce around the map guy? If you're a Chiefs fan, don't tweet. Don't say a word because that's just fair weather team. But let us know. I'm curious because I like the Ravens. Lamar's fun. But yeah, I mean, this division is going to be really fucking interesting. Bengals, their offense is damn good with Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and you got Joe Burrow, of course. Their defense was actually pretty decent last year. They went to the Super Bowl, obviously, but
we're forgetting a team in this division, aren't we?
The Browns and the Steelers.
Oh, shit, the Steelers.
Oh, the Steelers, that's right. I mean, who the fuck is your quarterback? Great wide receiver core, though, dude. Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool.
Will this be
Pickens?
a team where you just have to throw it in their direction and they'll catch it? Like,
right. Not Deontay.
Hope the defender doesn't get it first.
Not Deontay Dropson, but George Pickens has looked awesome, apparently. Chase Claypool's still a bitch. Don't forget the Chiefs got Juju, right? Just remember that.
Yeah, they did.
Yep. Can't forget that. In their
and they got MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Yep. They were saying he might be the number one. But I think it'll be Juju.
Maybe.
But then you got the Browns.
I'm excited.
Browns are just weird. This will be another interesting division. I think it'll be a nice tight race too between the
I feel like there's
Bengals, Ravens, and Steelers, but I think the Ravens.
Looking at it now, I'm gonna say there's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4 divisions that are real toss-ups. You're got the AFC North, the AFC South, AFC West, and then the NFC East.
I could see it.
I think those are all going to be your toss-ups.
Wild cards here. We only agreed on one team. We both had the Raiders, and then I had the Patriots. But I think the Patriots and Dolphins are pretty interchangeable. You also had the Dolphins. It's really just going to depend on how Tua does. He's gonna either lead that team to the playoffs or he's going to cost them the playoffs. And then I had the Bengals, my wild card, and you had the Chiefs. I left the Chiefs out. I think this is finally the year that Patrick Mahomes comes to reality, but he's just so good, man. He's probably gonna make MVS look good. He's gonna make Juju look good. CEH will probably have a career year. They'll probably win the Super Bowl, and I'll look like an idiot. Oh, this guy. Oh, hey Tubbs, remember when you had the Chiefs missing the playoffs? Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Do you think that the Chiefs will be as flashy?
No.
Losing some of the guys that they've lost. Like, they lost Tyreek Hill, who was one of the reasons they had so much flash.
Yep.
And now they filled it with dancing guys and MVS.
I mean, if Juju has a good year, he's going to post a lot of TikToks, and he'll probably bring a lot of hate. There's just so much hate for that team. With
and then
Mahomes'
you also have to think of the off-the-field problems that you might get with Juju and Jackson Mahomes.
Yep. Wait, they have beef, or are you just saying that they're going to be fighting about
No,
views?
but they might if they're going at it for TikTok followers and views.
They'll probably work together and be buddies, and it'll be stupid, and everybody will hate it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think the Raiders make it, though. Carr is...
I don't want him to.
Carr's another one of those quarterbacks he's decent. They got Renfro, and they've got a little guy named Devontae Adams now. Probably one of the best receivers in the league. Top 2, probably not 2 in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yep. And now he's got a competent quarterback to throw to him.
Whoa. I don't know if you know, but Aaron Rodgers is more than competent. He's living in multiple universes here.
Speaking of that, we didn't talk about it. Ayahuasca.
What about it? It's just a tea.
What was the initial reaction to that?
It's just tea, man.
He likes tea. He likes getting tea bags on his mouth.
You know,
dude,
if he's drinking that ayahuasca.
Aaron Rodgers is going to go down as one of the weirdest quarterbacks of all time. Just all the off the field stuff.
which is so weird because like he used to be one of the most normal quarterbacks ever.
Yep. I mean,
and it was just like the last couple of years
shit that you would think caused problems, but it doesn't. And him and LaFleur, like he kind of backhand comments LaFleur, and he's dated all these weird people. Like, why didn't you just stay with Danica, a real normal gal?
Because Danica's basically a man, dude.
That was fun to make fun of.
She drives fucking race cars for a living.
Yep, that was pretty fun to make fun of for a while. Hey, when she did you ever see a picture of when she got like makeuped up for like the ESPYs and shit? She looked good.
Yeah.
But you also know she's hot and sweaty in that race car. Rodgers probably likes it smelly. You know, he likes to go down under and have it real smelly.
Oh,
that's probably why he's with Danica. Now he's got this girl that probably doesn't shower. She's totally a
Might have
chick that
put us on
doesn't
a
shower.
trend.
Or all this like natural homemade soap that is odorless and doesn't have a scent. She probably smells like shit.
Oh boy.
Probably smells like me after a sweaty workout. But all the time.
I'm not a fan of this trend that we've come across here.
Oh man, it's gonna be so fun to clown this guy all year. I hope the Packers are awful. I hope they're awful. Oh,
They're not
man.
going to be.
I hope Rodgers breaks his
You just
collarbone
know
week
they're
2,
not going to be.
and Jordan Love has to take over,
That's
and he's gonna
fucked up.
suck. Actually, yeah.
Jordan Love's going
Don't
to be a
root
beast
for
if he has
injuries.
to take over.
Don't root for injuries. But when they happen, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna say, "Oh, I wish that didn't happen." No, I wish that happened. No, because you don't root for injuries. Holy shit. Let's move on. Tank of the week. Your nominees. We got Frankie. He helped Tubbs on Saturday night.
5-time nominee?
This is the third, or I think it's fourth. You helped me win $10 on craps over the weekend. Called him pretty drunk on Saturday. I had $10 free for craps on DraftKings, and I said, "What do I do? I have no idea to play." He said, "Throw it on the pass line." I threw 10 on the pass line, and I rolled, and it said, "You win $20." And I said, "Great," and pulled it out. Done. So thank you for that. A lot of grit there to not say figure it out yourself. Appreciate that.
Hey, I'm just trying to live vicariously through you betting right now because I'm not doing shit. So
You probably had that $10 craps, too. You should have used it. You might still have it. Check your email after the show. And then we got myself. A little story time here. So the lake house that I went to, the dad of my roommate, he hit a UFC parlay a few months back for like $1,000 or something crazy. He doesn't even watch UFC. He just picked the names and it worked. So he said, "Let's do it again." So we made a 10-legger, lost in the first fight. So then we did a 6-legger with the main card. It lost on the first fight. And I said, "Look, we got 5 fights left. I'm going to take everybody that you took on the 6-legger and hope it works." And then after the fourth fight, after the third fight, the cash out went up pretty nicely. And I'm texting Frankie, freaking out. "Hey, do I cash this? And he says, yeah. But the fourth fight, I had the favorite, so I let it go. And then he got absolutely rolled. So that sucks. And also, I thought I was tougher than the fucking sun. I didn't put on sunscreen, and it burnt me. So
really, the
yeah,
sun
it's crazy how the sun works. It always wins.
burnt you.
Third nominee, Rowdy Tellez. This is just the definition of a tank right here. This dude's big. He's beefy. He hits tanks. He stole second base. It was electric. It might have
His
been
second career stolen
might
base.
have been the biggest leadoff I've ever seen in my life. I mean, he was basically running after the pitcher looked away, and he was halfway to second by the time the pitch was thrown.
It was a great jump.
It was phenomenal.
He
And your winner,
no-throwed him, didn't he?
your winner is he didn't throw. Catcher did not throw. And your winner is obviously Rowdy Tellez. You want to talk about a tank?
Definition of a tank this week.
That's about as good as it gets right there. So shout out to you, Rowdy. You're one of the fun things on the Brewers right now. You give the fans happiness, even though their team just constantly kills them. Now,
Yeah.
let's get into the all-star ballot of controversial calls. I real quick just want to say thank you to our 5 voters. 3 of you gave me the win last week, and I get to pick first overall
I'm not
again.
sure what the fuck is going on with this voting. Whoever's listening, maybe turn your earbuds up when you're listening to this part because you're clearly not listening well enough. But I don't know what else to say at this point.
Also, go vote for us. We had 5 votes. I'd like to get up to 10. That'd be sweet. We have 30 followers. Go vote. Also, get us to 50 followers or something. I don't know. I'm just kidding. 1-1. I'm going to go first again. But I'll tell you what. If I win again this week, we can go to the number generator. Deal?
Fair.
Deal. All right.
Deal.
1-1. It's pretty obvious what I'm going to go with here. The Galarraga perfect game steal by Jim Joyce. He was clearly out. It was before replay. If replay was here now, he'd have a perfect game. He was dealing all night, and then he called him safe. In that situation, you got to just call him out. It's in Detroit. Last out for a perfect game. How often do you see a perfect game? Just call him out. I feel bad for him. He was really sad after the game. He apologized to him. Galarraga still got a nice Corvette, but it sucks, man. It sucks. He was out.
Thank you, safe.
Shut the fuck up. You know he was out. Any competent person will say he was out
call.
by a step. I get it,
Yeah,
bang,
that's a
bang.
pretty good
But even
1-1.
if he was safe, you probably should have called him out just because of the circumstance. Because what's going to happen? You're not
Yeah,
going to get
that's-
booed. You're not going to get booed by the fans.
That's true.
Instead, he probably had to
That's
have
true.
an escort to his car. All right, go ahead. Sorry, I could go on all night.
So my 1-1, I'm going to keep it pretty obvious for me, too. I'm going The NFC Championship game, Packers and Seahawks, the replacement refs call. Interception, touchdown, what was it? It was definitely a touchdown.
I don't think that was the NFC Championship. That was Monday Night Football to start the year because they had the replacement refs. NFC Championship was the onside kick with Bostic. Yes, that was not the NFC Championship game. That was a Monday night game. It was like week 1.
Yeah, September.
Yep. Still a terrible call, though. Still a terrible call.
Horrible call.
Go ahead and
Packers were 3-point favorites, too. Damn. Found that out.
Go ahead and explain it, but we just had to correct that.
Yeah, it was just horrible call.
You don't even
the
want
worst
to
part about it is that
happened.
like one ref. Well, okay, so final play of the game, Packers going for the Hail Mary, throw it up in the air, comes down in the end zone. I don't even remember who the receiver was.
It was a Seahawks Hail Mary. Holy shit! Did you even watch the game?
What fucking Jesus?
Damn, dude, we are off
I just know
today.
what the call is.
We are off
Yeah,
today.
I just know what the call is. And yeah, Seahawks. Okay, yeah, so Seahawks going for the Hail Mary to end the game. Packers are up. Comes down. Defender catches it. As he's rolling over, the Seahawks wide receiver, I'm pretty sure it was Tyler Lockett.
No, doesn't matter. Stop
No,
doing details because you're just getting them wrong. Just
Yeah. But they roll over with the ball, and Packers defender has it clearly locked up. Seahawks receiver has 2 hands on it, but like barely. One referee's waving it as an interception. The other one's holding his arms up like it's a touchdown. They ended up calling it a fucking touchdown, and the Seahawks won the game. Final play of the game.
the worst part of it was that the Packers cornerback rolled away with the ball and held it up. And it went to replay too, and they still got it wrong.
And it was replacement refs. The refs were on lockout.
Yep. That's
dumb.
That was on my list too. I didn't even have it in my top 4 though. But there's also obviously a little bit of bias here. So number 2.
You don't think?
My second pick here. We're gonna go with the Rams Saints no pass interference call in the 2018 NFC Championship.
Damn.
Holy shit!
That as my second.
Wide open. He's gonna make a play on the ball. No, he just hit the receiver. The ball didn't even touch the receiver yet. No call. No flag. Just terrible. If you haven't seen that, look it up.
That might have been the most blatant
calls.
Pass interference I've ever seen.
Now,
and the fact that they even...
Wasn't that the year that you could challenge pass interference? Or no? Or was it the year after they started to do it after that?
I think they started to do it after that.
Okay. But still, I mean, the ref was right there, and the Saints receiver, or was it the running back? It was Kamara. Kamara looks at him like, "What the fuck, bro?" And he's like, "Nope." And the Rams cornerback was like, "Holy shit!" You could see him. He knew he
just walked away because he knew it was such a bad play.
Yep. And, wow. Yep. Saints went on to lose. Rams went to the Super Bowl and got clowned. Well, they didn't get clowned. They only lost 13-3, but didn't score. My boy Jared Goff.
I'm going to go back to baseball on this one.
Ooh, okay.
With the Braves-Pirates, 19th inning, the play at home. It's a infield tapper, literally the 19th inning. And the play comes home. They have the runner out by a mile. The catcher swipe tags, batter pops, or like the runner pops up and just stands on home because he knows he's out. And everyone's just like thinking that the play is over, and called him safe. Game over. Walk off. It was before you could replay calls in the MLB too, and that 100% should have been overturned. That was the second worst MLB call I've ever seen in my entire life.
That just wanted to go home, 100%.
Literally.
Second worst.
That's the thing. I get
What's
it.
What's your first?
The Galarraga.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of wrong place.
Blatantly wrong.
Yeah. I think blatantly wrong. That call was more blatantly wrong. The play at first with Galarraga was actually kind of close, but this dude was sliding before the catcher's feet, and he tagged him in the chest, and then the guy stands up and touches home, and he calls
He
safe.
stood up before he even got to the catcher because he knew he was out.
Yep. And yeah, but yeah, what is it? All I can say is wow.
Yeah.
My third pick here. Oh man, I've got so many good ones. We're gonna do the Phantom face mask on Aaron Scumbag Rodgers before a certain play that will not be mentioned that happened in Detroit on Monday Night Football.
Motor City Miracle?
Terrible. Yeah, we have to mention the play. Basically, it was he grabbed him on the shoulder, and Rodgers turned his head, so it looked, I'll give him this, it looked like a face mask, and if he did it on purpose, good for Rodgers. Scumbag, go fuck yourself.
It was a face mask.
They throw the flag. Dude, will you just be real with me one time and admit that there was no face mask on that play?
No, because I do think it was a face mask.
Fuck up. I'm just going to say it and we're moving on because you're going to piss me off. And then very next play, Hail Mary, 60, 70 yards, whatever. Game over. R.I.P. Lions were good that year too. But, all right, your third pick. I'm over it.
I'm going to go with...
It doesn't keep me up at night anymore.
I have one that really hits home to me, but I don't know if I want to use it. I'm going to go with the 1999 Thanksgiving coin flip. So I'm not sure if you know. I don't know. The Lions were involved. He called heads.
Oh, yeah,
and the ref heard tails.
Yeah.
And it ended up being heads, like he called, but they gave it to the other team because the ref thought he heard him say tails. And the Lions ended up losing that game because of that call.
On Thanksgiving, too, which is like one of the few things you look forward to as a Lions fan. They always play on Thanksgiving. And thankfully, I didn't witness that. But holy shit. I heard you say tails.
Yeah,
that was against the Steelers, right?
A coin flip? I believe so.
Yeah. Lose on a coin flip. Coin flips are stupid. Both teams need to get the ball in overtime. I'm sure we'll talk about that during the season.
That has to be a thing, yeah.
My fourth pick. I'm going to let you decide here. Do I go with the close to home call or do I go with not close to home call?
Ooh, I think you got 2 close to home calls already. So.
I'm going close to home because it is just ridiculous. Brandon Pettigrew was blatantly interfered with, and the refs throw a flag. I rewatched this, by the way. I explained it in a prior episode, but I didn't really have it that great. Brandon Pettigrew, he's back trotting away from Stafford. Stafford sees he's open. He's supposed to hit him up above his head on the hands, but Stafford kind of misthrows. Hits the Dallas defender in the back. The Dallas defender didn't turn his head or make a play on the ball, which is the definition of pass interference at the time. The refs throw the flag. Dez Bryant comes out on the field without a helmet, which is another penalty. He yells at the refs. The refs talk for a second, and it's like, no, there's no way that they're going to pick up this flag. They picked up the fucking flag. And all of Detroit was just devastated.
As they have been many times before.
So many times. There's been I could make a 10-part list here. But that one hits very close because it was when I was first really getting into football, watching the Lions. And that was bad. Me and my dad didn't talk the rest of the night, I don't think. So, what do you got it for?
I am going to go... So, I'm going to go with the the Music City Miracle. Sorry.
Yep.
So, fun fact about this one. Remember how I mentioned the ref not hearing the Lions player call heads for the coin flip?
Yep.
Same referee was on the field for the Music City Miracle.
The same one?
The same exact referee.
That's wild.
Was on the field for the Music City Miracle. For those of you guys that don't know the Music City Miracle, it was end of the game, kickoff. Titans needed to score to win, and they ran the pitch play that you run on kickoffs every once in a while where they throw it across the field. The problem was when they threw it across the field, they definitely threw it forward.
100%.
Yeah, it was not really close at all. I mean, it looked like a sick play, but it was an illegal throw. Play should have been dead. Shouldn't have scored, shouldn't have won. Music City Miracle would not be a thing. if it wasn't for this ref that now has 2 blown calls on our most controversial calls list.
All right. Honorable mentions. I got a few. I'll try to go quick.
I've got a lot.
I had the Maradona hand of God.
Oh, I also had that.
Yep. Basically, World Cup.
I didn't know if you were gonna call
Maradona,
it.
short, went for the header. It clearly hit his hand. They called it a goal, and they went on to win the World Cup. I had the tuck rule.
I also had that.
Tom Brady against, who was that again? Oakland. Definitely fumbled, but it was a new rule, I guess. The tuck rule, where if you bring it down into your body, you're technically throwing the ball, so it was incomplete. Interesting. And then I had, correct me if I say this name wrong, Jeffrey Maher? You don't,
Not sure.
You don't know that name?
I don't think so.
Derek Jeter home run
Explain
that
it.
didn't get out, but did get out.
Yep.
That's another one. Basically, some kid reached down, caught the ball that was definitely in play, and they called it a home run. I had
that little fan. He's got a glove on him.
I had the Fail Mary, the Packers Fail Mary. I had
Does catch?
Joe Nathan, the called strike 3. You ever seen that one?
Yeah. That's bad.
That was bad, but it didn't really. Was that a playoff game?
I honestly don't know off the top of my head.
I think it was. I think it was back when the
but I
Rangers were good and it was a playoff game.
Yeah, I think so.
I just thought of this one, but I don't know the details. It was Red Sox, and was it Pedroia coming around third? And he got
the playoffs where he tripped.
Pedroia tripped
He
him.
ran into
Is that what it is?
He ran into the guy in the playoffs, and they called interference.
Yes, that's what it was. No, it was Pedroia that tripped him. It was the Cardinals guy that was fat and slow, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because he thought of that one off the top of
he
my head.
went to third. They threw it to third, and the ball went over third base into the outfield.
Yep.
The runner then stood up, took off towards home, but he tripped on the guy who was covering third.
Yep.
Got thrown out at home, but they called him safe because of interference.
Yep. I also had
catch.
Kelvin Johnson Monday Night Football against the Seahawks. Don't remember the play specifically. I remember the end of it, but he was reaching for the end zone. The ball got knocked out. He might have broken the plane. Lions fans argue he did. Seahawks fans obviously argue he didn't. But the key to this is that Bobby Wagner tapped the ball out of the end zone, which is a touchback in favor of Detroit.
Illegal.
And they would have been at the 20 with time. So take it how you will, but obviously it went in the Seahawks' favor.
That made me think of
that's everything I had.
Like 3 different ones. So that made me think of the Dez catch. I don't need to explain that one. Everyone knows it. He didn't actually catch it.
Dez caught it.
That made me think of the Steelers play at the goal line. That was very similar to that one.
Yep.
And then the Oklahoma State game in college? No, Indiana. The Indiana game from last year, diving towards the pylon. Did they end up calling that a touchdown?
That was Oklahoma State Baylor in the Big 12 championship last year.
Well, Indiana had one too, though.
That was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That one was really close because
There's
the ball
a lot
came
of those
out,
plays.
But those are the best plays when they're close. I used to do that when I was a kid. I'd set up a pylon and I'd dive towards it. Like, that was the shit. Just thought of another one. Not really a controversial call because the refs got it right. It just really sucked. It was Lions-Falcons 2017. Lions are driving with very little time left. With 8 seconds left, Stafford throws the ball to Golden Tate, who breaks the plane and scores. But then the refs review it, and he was short. His knee was down when he caught it, and he got touched before he broke the plane, which I'll admit it, they got the correct call. It just sucked because the review initiated a 10-second rundown. The Lions had no timeouts, and they lost the game. That one hurt.
I also had, this one's going to be pretty controversial. Jordan Pushoff.
Ooh, I like it.
Did he?
That's a controversial call right there. I think he pushed off.
Yeah. I also had Cody Eakin, the penalty for the Knights against the Sharks. That was a bullshit fucking call. Yeah. That cost us the entire series and season. I know one specific listener will not agree with this, but
hey, Cole.
He's a Sharks fan, so. And then I had, my last one was the Giannis 2020 phantom foul against the Heat. Jimmy Butler was going for the game-winning shot at the buzzer, and Giannis went to block him, put up his arm, and pulled it down as Butler was shooting, never touched him. They called a foul as the buzzer went off. In a tied game, Jimmy Butler got 2 free throws after the buzzer was done, so Bucks couldn't do anything. We ended up losing that series.
Yeah, but that one doesn't hurt as bad because you won it the next year.
Yeah, but it still hurt because we had a really good team.
Yeah, and you probably...
And I think if we would have beat the Heat, we could have probably won the finals that year too.
Yeah.
Because that was the fucking Mickey Mouse championship. So I guess it's probably a good thing that we didn't win it.
Oh yeah, because I wouldn't count it. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, did the Lakers really win that year?
No, absolutely not.
Exactly.
The fraud.
Exactly.
All right, let's wrap it up. I think we went pretty long. What are we at right now? My recording isn't showing me a time.
110.
Oh my God, we went long. I mean, NFL, man, it's fucking exciting. So wrap up.
There was a game already, so we're back.
Here's my question for you. You're stranded on a deserted island. You can only take 3 items. But don't bullshit it and say, oh, a boat or blah, blah, blah. Give me 3 funny items. Try to be funny here. I'll give you mine while you think if you want.
Okay.
All right.
What are yours?
I have a 30 rack of Busch Light Apple, a gallon of Fireball, and a lighter.
Okay.
The lighter is just for a fire so I can be warm while I'm drinking.
I'm going to take...
Actually, I'm going to change the lighter to a hammock. Yeah, fuck the fire. I'll be warm with the Fireball.
Okay. I'm going to take a 30 rack of Summer Shandy. Which is great beer. And if you're on an island, I'm assuming it's hot.
I don't think they make 30
Summer
racks
Shandy
of
is
that,
great
though.
summer beer. Of course they do.
I guess it is fictional, so you can have whatever you want. So
exactly. I'm going to take a deck of cards.
Oh, okay.
It's multifunctional there.
Yep.
Gives you something to do. Can also be used as a fire starter.
Okay.
If needed. And then I think I have to go with a lighter because I already took the cards to be multifunctional there.
Yep.
So I'm going to take a lighter.
See, I hate when you, I hate when you ask
some
people
survival
that.
Classes. I know how to build a nice little shack for myself.
I hate when
water
you ask people that.
Might be kind of screwed there, but
I hate when people are like, "Oh, I'd take water and a tent and a raft." No, dude. I would accept death and just have a great time on this island. I'd treat it like a vacation right before I die.
See, the thing is,
then when I ran out of alcohol,
if you take a 30 rack of beer, that's also multifunctional because the empty cans, you can then boil the water out. You have drinkable water.
Holy shit.
You can also use the cans to set up a trap and kill animals.
And when you get rescued, you have
with.
$3 in deposits towards the rest of your life.
You can use it as, dude, there are so many things you can do with empty beer cans.
Yep. You can also...
Beer's great for you.
You can also, make one of those, horns out of them. Or, when you crush it and you go, "Hurr," it sounds like a muffler.
Yeah.
Fun. You would be able to have some fun.
A lot of things. See?
Well, and there's probably some coconuts on this island. Who needs food? There's probably some berries. And then you can probably just
gotta be something.
kill a couple birds, throw a can at it. A full one.
You could fill up the can with something and make it a weapon.
No, it's already a weapon. When it's closed,
exactly.
You throw it at the bird. If it pops, you just drink it real quick. And if it doesn't, now you got dinner and a beer.
Exactly.
Bam.
Multifunctional.
All right, that wraps up the question.
I think we'd survive pretty well.
I think if we were together and we could just hang out and drink, we get drunk and go kill something.
You and we should go do a Naked and Afraid.
I don't want to see you naked. Can we be clothed and afraid?
I guess we can skip on the naked part. But...
yeah,
okay.
Fully clothed and afraid. Or wait.
I'd just say
Tubbs
drunk and wandering.
Yeah. Or it could be you're naked and I'm afraid. Yeah, that'd be a pretty good show. That'd be a pretty good show. Also on that show,
if we have any investors,
they just have full bushes, like the dudes and the chicks.
Probably.
Gross.
Probably.
I'd be
they're
afraid
out there
of
for
the
30
bushes.
days.
Ugh. Yeah. Okay. That'd be a pretty good show. We should try
a lot
to
of
find
crabs
some
in the bushes.
If we ever blow up, we should do a YouTube series of Frankie's naked and Tubbs is afraid.
Well,
and we take those 3 things.
We
take those 3 things and survive as long as we can. I think we'd make it one night. I think we'd wake up the next morning fuck, I'm hungry, I give up. Then we get picked up.
Well, I wouldn't go naked. I'd have to go clothed. But I think I'd make it.
Well, and I
decent.
wouldn't want to be with you naked. I'll tell you what, wear light clothing, and then we can blur your body, and it'll look like you're naked.
Okay.
But deep down, we know you're clothed.
Okay.
All right. Write that down somewhere. That's not a bad idea. We could film that in, like, some random forest and say we're on an island. That could blow up on YouTube.
I used to have a GoPro. I could find that.
I have a GoPro, too, somewhere. All right, everybody, let's wrap it up. Hey, have a great weekend. Hit some tanks. Endorse some tutties. We'll see you next week. Hard Knocks, baby. Woo!
Let's go.